Welcome back to Making the Case. I'm Yodit Tewolde. Each week, we share the story of someone currently sitting on death row, whether they've been wrongfully convicted or the victim of police and prosecutorial misconduct. We also share the stories of those who are guilty of the crimes they've been convicted of, but are victims of a system that disproportionately sends the poor, the intellectually disabled, the mentally ill, and of course, black and brown people to death row. All right, tonight out of Oklahoma, we share the story of Julius Jones, who was sentenced to death after being convicted of the 1999 murder of Paul Howell, a crime Julius maintains he didn't commit. Like so many on death row, Jones had ineffective assistance of counsel. His lawyer had never tried a capital case before. And despite having a solid alibi, Jones nor any other witnesses were ever called to testify. As it does in so many death penalty cases, racism was front and center at Jones's trial. There was a racist cop. The prosecutor at the trial excluded all but one black juror, and the judge let a juror who made multiple explicitly racist remarks stay on the jury. Now, almost 20 years after being sentenced to death, Jones has been granted a commutation hearing before the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board on September 13th. Here to talk more about Julius's case and his upcoming hearing is social justice advocate, the Reverend Cece Jones-Davis, and Julius's sister, Antoinette Jones. Thank you, ladies, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, Cece, let me start with you. Can you tell us how you first became involved in the fight to free Julius, and a little bit about the facts of the case that caused Julius to be convicted and sentenced to death?
Absolutely. Listen, thank you, first of all, so much for having us. And really what you work with to highlight these kinds of stories. I was living in Oklahoma City at the time that I watched a docuseries called The Last Defense, which was produced by Viola Davis and her husband, Julius Tewolde. And in The Last Defense, they really showed in gory detail Julius's situation. I had never heard of him before. And I just decided, I'm living in Oklahoma at the time. It was my moral obligation to just make sure that an innocent man didn't die, to do all that I could. And so I connected with Julius's lawyers and with his sister Antoinette and with his family. And 3 years later, here we are about to have a commutation hearing. And so we are deeply grateful to God for where Julius has come. It's been quite the journey. You know, all of the issues that you raised, Yodit, are, indescribable. And everyone who has seen The Last Defense, produced by Viola Davis for ABC, we come away in shock. How can we get this so wrong? How could a racist juror remain on the jury and vote for death? How can someone receive such a poor defense and he still be on death row? How can 3 people come forward over the years to say that the co-defendant has actually admitted to 3 different individuals that he committed the crime, and Julius Jones still be on death row? And so this is egregious. But yes, on September 13th, Julius has his day before the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board. It is the first time in history that a death row inmate in Oklahoma has received a commutation hearing, and that means that his voice gets to be heard before he gets an execution date, which is really, really important. Because what we know from stories across the country is that once someone has an execution date, it's like a freight train. It's very difficult to stop.
Yeah.
And so we are looking forward to Julius being able to really put his best foot forward, and his lawyers to be able to fight for him on September the 13th in Oklahoma.
Antoinette, and that is actually major. And let me actually do a follow-up before I go to Antoinette. Cece, is Julius prepared? Is he ready to speak on his own behalf?
Yes. Now, there's a caveat. His attorneys are ready. He's got an incredible team of lawyers, Dale Bache and Amanda Bass from Arizona, and they are ready. Now, the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board are still determining whether they're going to allow Julius Jones to attend his own hearing. You know, isn't that incredible that somebody's life is on the line and they're wondering if he can even show up in the room to defend and fight for his own life. But we know that his lawyers will be there, and we will be there, and his family will be there, and we're ready, and we're praying, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that Julius comes home.
Antoinette, I know Julius was just 19, and he was a student at the University of Oklahoma when he was convicted of this crime. Tell me more about who Julius was growing up and at that stage of his life, just as he was entering adulthood.
So growing up, Julius was always like the peacemaker out of all three of us. We have an older brother named Antonio. I'm the baby of three of us. But Julius was always somebody that wanted to help you, like with your weaknesses. Like if you couldn't shoot good with your right hand or dribble good with your right hand, he's gonna work with you, and it's not gonna seem like it's training. It's just gonna seem like it's fun and it's a game. He's also somebody that likes to help with homework, and I love that because I needed help a lot of times. Um, he just would give you a shirt off his back. There were instances where we went to different gyms to go play pickup ball, and somebody didn't have a pair of shoes or they didn't have a t-shirt or some shorts, and he would provide that. That's just he's that selfless of a person. He's not a choir boy, but he just loves to help people, and he's never met a stranger like my mother. So so he's definitely has the gift of gab to talk. He just wants people to be in an environment where it's drama free. He definitely loves giving back to the community. He's always wanted to help children growing up. He even was working at a daycare center before he finished high school. So he was that type of person. He loves sports, loves playing baseball, basketball, football. Um, he was just he was like part of he was part of the core of our family, and it's been really hard for the past 22 years, but he still gives us hope in the way he talks. He's always worried about somebody else instead of himself. That's who he is. That's who he was back then, and that's who he is right now.
Well, you know, in recent years, you've gotten so much support from people, famous ones, like Cece mentioned, Viola Davis. Now, a petition to grant your brother a commutation hearing got 6 million signatures. You know, that's got to be encouraging, right?
Yes, ma'am. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's one of the first times that they've had a death row inmate's petition get above, I want to say 100,000 or 200,000. I'm not for sure, but it's been nothing but by the grace of God of people sharing, putting their own personal spin on it after learning, and actually questioning me on Twitter about, well, why are you so sure that your brother is innocent? You know, and that gives me a chance to kind of practice about interviews, is being able to be engaged with people that question his innocence, and then they dig deeper and they see the documentary and they're like, wow, how did he even get to this point of being in prison for 22 years? What happened with the system? What happened with public defenders and people that are lawyers that are supposed to be experienced, and just the amendments that as an American citizen we're supposed to have. We're supposed to enjoy a proper defense, and my brother did not enjoy a proper defense.
Cece, the district attorney in this case, David Prater, and Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter have both spoken out very strongly against Julius being granted commutation. Does that concern you?
Absolutely. You know, I think it's the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand why these men are so adamant about Julius having a fair opportunity for his story to be told. You know, I think what's important for people to know is that Oklahoma, unfortunately, has a dark legacy when we talk about criminal justice. Oklahoma incarcerates more women than anywhere else, not just in the country, but in the world. Oklahoma is has one of the highest rates of incarceration in the country. And Also, there have been 10 people that have been exonerated from Oklahoma's death row since the 1970s. And so I think that unfortunately, these men have put themselves in a position to try to defend an institution that really can't be defended. They're on the wrong side, unfortunately. And we have tried to work with them. We have tried to get Julius's file from the DA. We've tried to reason, but there's no reason to be found here. And it's unfortunate. And I'm not real clear about what all their motivations are. But we believe that all things that are done in the dark do come to light. And we believe that, that justice somehow, some way is going to prevail in this situation.
Absolutely. Social justice advocate Reverend Cece Jones-Davis and Antoinette Jones, thank you both for coming on, making the case.